President Biden making this shocking admission yesterday before taking a few questions from the press.
Ladies and gentlemen, they gave me a list here. The first person I was instructed to call on was Kelly O'Donnell of NBC.
Okay. The bizarre moment raising questions like who's really in charge?
Well, here now to react are Fox and Friends Weekend co-hosts Pete Hegseth and Rachel Campos-Duffy and Will Kane. Good morning to all three of you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Rachel,
Good
what
morning,
was
Ainsley.
Good
morning, everybody.
Morning.
What was your reaction when you heard him say, "I was instructed"?
Well, not surprised. I mean, listen, all of us have wondered who is behind this president. He's not clearly in charge, and I think Americans have a right to know who's in charge. Last night on Laura Ingraham, I believe it was Congressman Green said that he was briefed that the president was told not to close Bagram Air Base, and he did it anyway. And so we know that Joe Biden has bad judgment, but we also know he's not there. And I'm sorry, 13 military members are dead. Hundreds of Americans are trapped behind enemy lines, and the American people deserve to know who is in charge. And if he's not up to the job, something has to be done. Cannot continue. This is unsustainable.
You know, that's one theory, Rachel. I get it. Some people say he lost it, but if you read what he's been saying and what he writes in his book, this is what he actually believes, Will. I think this guy never wanted to be in Afghanistan after initially saying he wanted to have a democracy there, and he's just doing what he said.
Brian, I mean, I understand what you're saying, that this is sort of Joe Biden's view on foreign policy and his ideology played out in real time. But I do have to agree with Rachel. Nothing about what we saw yesterday reflected or projected leadership. But that doesn't mean we're not being led. In other words, did you see strength? Did you see direction? Did you see clarity? Even before he got to the question and answer period. And then the stumble or the admission or the honesty of saying, now I've been instructed to call upon Kelly O'Donnell from NBC News isn't surprising. Rachel's right about that. This has been the most tightly managed president for quite some time. So that just leads to that obvious question of who's doing the managing, who's doing the instructing. So in other words, he may not be leading, we may be void of leadership, but that doesn't mean we're not being led. And maybe, Brian, maybe to your point, whoever is doing the leading, whoever's managing, whoever's instructing, shares the worldview then of Joe Biden.
Well, they are his advisors. And, you know, Pete, we've seen the president a couple of times in this past week since things started going south. And at the conclusion of prepared remarks on a different topic, reporters had shouted at him questions, but he obviously has been instructed, don't take any questions, or at least don't answer any questions. But this is, when it comes to foreign policy, the same guy who, when they took a vote in the Situation Room, said to the president, let's not go after bin Laden.
Well, of course, his judgment is terrible. But even not having any faith in him, like every American, I turned on my TV and I wanted to see a commander in chief. And it was underwhelming, even by Joe Biden standards. I mean, he utterly failed the moment from the minute he walked up to the podium to the question and answer session where he bowed his head when your son asked a question, and he bowed almost as if to that is the photo of these 13 dead Marines, of the situation we have at Kabul airport. That's what the world takes away, that image right there. Not to mention, at the end, he said, I swear, guys, I got to leave. I've got a meeting. I really mean that. In the middle of it, he also said, after saying, we're going to hunt you down and find you, he, one sentence later, said, I know many of you are probably tired of hearing me say that. No, we want you to say that one time. We want you to say it louder. We want you to say it clearly. We want our enemies to actually believe you. Instead, this entire episode was a bowing, like that picture, to the Taliban, who he is completely beholden to because of the decisions he and his White House have made.
Yep, some of the headlines: optics disaster, a defining image, the defining photo of Biden presidency. Rachel, what's coming up?